Hello everybody, Corn here and welcome to my channel. I have a project share, plus I'll just be chatting and a little update on the giveaway and maybe just show you what I'm working on, because I'm going to be working on this for some time, or similar projects like this, because they're for the holidays. And I figure if I don't start doing them now, I am going to get too close to the holidays and then get all stressed out. So I thought you better start working on these now. So, got my Halloween cards mailed out on Saturday. I had them to be mailed, you know, with my little red flag up and everything. And on Friday, and my postman didn't take it. So I don't know what that was about. But anywho. So I guess first, before I forget, the update on the giveaway. As you see, as far as me reaching 2,000, I don't think that's going to happen. And, you know, that's okay. Because I once told Handsome, you know, I had a channel for several years before I ever did videos. And actually what brought me to YouTube was working on an older home. It had nothing to do with paper crafting, you know, and I'm still working on an older home. In fact, the reason I can do this today is because weather is not permitting me to work on the exterior. So, with the update on the giveaway, I don't want to wait till I reach 2,000, because I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not trying to be like, oh, poor Corn, or anything like that. I just don't think it is. It didn't happen last year when I did it and Sheila won. It's I don't think going to happen. If it hasn't happened at the end of last year and we're already into October, I don't think it's going to happen this year either. And as they say, that's okay. You know, it is what it is. So, I do need you all, though, to check and make sure that YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you, because some of you all are not on my subscriber list that YouTube gives me. I also need to make clear, I have looked up a few people that's, you know, that entered the giveaway that do not live in the United States. And again, I'm sorry to let you know that if you do not live in the United States, I cannot ship this to you because it is very, very, very heavy. And I know what it's like to mail to Germany. And a small box for me, you know, brink, 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 was over $60 some time ago. Our friends in Germany and myself, we got together and said, I love you very much, but we can't do this anymore. So, you have to be a U.S. citizen and you have to be a subscriber in order to enter, if you'd like to be entered. I'm going to, hopefully in the next week or two, remember, we pick a winner the old-fashioned way. Although I am going to follow in Trina's footsteps, and instead of writing out everybody's name, which is what I used to do, I'm going to write the names on paper, assign them numbers, write the numbers down. I am going to do that. And then Handsome, as you know, and sometimes when our Toby could be with us, Toby would pick, either Handsome or Toby would pick the winner, so Handsome will probably end up picking the winner. And, like I said, that'll be hopefully before Halloween. But as far as me reaching 2,000, I don't think that's going to happen. And that's okay. So, let's get on with what I've been up to when I haven't been working on the house. And, oh boy, I think I'm right in saying this is not my idea, number one. But I think her name is the Firefly Studio. I think that's her name. Or her channel name, and she came up with this. I'll show you. Let me get this stuff. I'm still standing up so I can show you. She got these at Walmart, and so did I. These are the giant lunch bags. They also have some white lunch bags, which I thought about getting, But there was another YouTuber who said the white ones weren't made as well. I think these came out, I'm happy so far. And I think they will be yummy when I do a vintage one. But I think the white one, I still might end up getting the white ones. This was, you get 50 bags in here, and this was less than $2. I think it was like $1.87 or something like that. So, very good deal. Love working with them, by the way. And yes, they're not perfect. and then I make a clutch with those. And then I make out of these, which are from Colorbach, which the umlauts are over the O, that's why I say it that way. You get 16 of these paper sacks, which are made really well. They are 3.5 inches by 2 inches by 6 3/4. And I make the wallets out of these. They're made really nice. Now, what I came up with for one of my friends is this clutch. She loves Maggie Holmes. I don't always associate her with butterflies. I associate her with another animal. But she loves Maggie Holmes. Anything Maggie Holmes. I mean, and I had, when you all saw me do my craft room tour, remember I took you to the closet and I pointed down and I said, you know, this container is full of a future project, another future project. Well, excuse me. This is for my friend who loves Maggie Holmes. I tried to use everything Maggie Holmes. This is, even the bling, and this is. But this trim, the applique daisies in pink, that is not. The lace is not Maggie Holmes, but everything else is. Oh, wait a minute, and the sari silk. Remember when we did I asked y'all to come along and dye seam binding and sari silk with me? This is one of the ones. And this lace, yeah. When it comes to the lace, I don't have Maggie Holmes. I tried to find my Maggie Holmes ribbon, and I found it. But it had the little swans on it, and it was peach, not pink. And my friend really loves pink. But everything else on here is that, and is Maggie. So you open it like so, and you know, I placed this here so that the ribbon would stay. She wouldn't have to mess with that. Excuse me. And then you open like so. I personally love the idea that it's a paper bag, or especially a lunch bag. So I left quite a bit, and others did too, the bag itself. I want you to be able to see that craft paper bag. And so then it opens like so. And some people have put a journal in here. Some people have made like an accordion side, so that, and also just quite a few pockets and everything else, and theirs. But the reason, one of the people, and I apologize, I just watched quite a few videos on this, and we all do something different, mine included, which I love that we all do something different. And I even left on this one the top of the bag. See how it's got the cutting there? And this one person said, I'm going to put this in my glove compartment and put in, you know, like my registration and stuff like that, which is what, eventually I make myself one, but you know how it goes. You're usually the last one that gets one. You make yours last, and I will do the same. And that's what I had in mind for these. But I thought, you know, what if they wanted embellishments in them, or to put in there whatever they wanted? So here is, so I thought, well, what if they want a little wallet? Or at least to put a little something else, like maybe, not a key, because you don't want a key in there, but you know, something little. So here's to go with this one. So here's what we're, again, the Maggie Smith. And, oh, I do want to point this out. Handsome got it. If you look right here, the way I place the papers, It looks like Bunny is, doesn't it? Which I thought she could giggle and think, there's corn. She got to put a rabbit on everything. And then her little wallet that goes with it. This, again, we dyed together. The seam binding, and I got the seam binding off of Amazon. And then she's just going to open like so. And what I did to hold this one down, oops, I got to go this way with y'all. To hold this one down, I fussy cut this out of, Maggie Holmes had a tag, I think, in that. And then I fussy cut this little one that went up here so that I could glue it over, you know, the seam binding so it'll stay. Lace, and again, this is just different, some different and some the same paper from Maggie Holmes to go with. And so there's her little wallet, in case you want to see them together, that goes with it. Now, you all might think, well, that doesn't look like the holidays too much. But to me, if you're going to give somebody something, it should look 100% like them so that when they look at it, they smile and it makes them happy. So speaking of that, I also have, this is one I got in the making, and this is for a friend who absolutely adores the color red. I don't have a lot of red. And let me interrupt myself, which y'all know I do all the time, not periodically, and say that these were made out of cardstock because I did not have any paper, just regular paper, in Maggie Holmes. Well, I did have one piece, two pieces, but I had used one for a big envelope and the other one for some pages in a journal. So this is all paper. This is not cardstock. And as you see, when you're doing it with paper, it's a little more flexible because, you know, cardstock's going to make it a little stiffer. I'm going to have to work in both because the one after I do this one, the next one is cardstock again because it's Stamperia. And I purchased that paper just for this friend. So it's going to be a little stiff, but she's so sweet, she won't care. So this one, I did have, shockingly enough, a little bit of bleeding. Let me see if I can show y'all. Because what I put on here, you can get it in this, the Distress Collage Medium, and this label looked beautiful until last night, and I had to squeeze this so hard to get some of it out that I messed up the label. But I'll be using so much of it. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby some time ago. Then I got this one, which is the same thing, and they're both in matte because I love a matte finish, always have. This is Tim Holtz, and you know how much I love Tim Holtz. Adore him and his products, and I cannot say enough about this stuff. Use this. Then he recommends you don't have to use his Distress brush, but it's a collage brush. Actually, he made this brush just for this because there's that you can get on Amazon too. And I knew I was going to be using a lot. In fact, I might end up using all of that by the time I'm finished. I don't know. So, here's this one. And like I said, there was a little bit of bleeding in the red. And I found out it wasn't coming from, because you know I go around things. Because some of the paper's torn. Some of it's cut with a decorative scissors. Some of it's cut with a paper cutter. And what I learned is if I use my Tombow markers, which is what I prefer because it has a wonderful paint brush end. Like, let me pull one of these out. You know, remember Handsome got me these. But they're water-based, okay? So, they're water-based. So, I've learned, here's the end that I love because you can have a very intricate you can fussy cut something or a die cut and get right into the grooves and everything with that. But I learned that can bleed a little bit when you're working with the collage medium. So I ended up going with Ohuhu, which I love to say that. How cool is that? Ohuhu. Markers, because they are alcohol based. So these I got, I think it was either December or January. This is a Christmas gift. I got some money and then I purchased these because I wanted some alcohol markers. I didn't know until I met Mighty R. He works with these all the time. I had already had them. So when he said he uses Ohuhu and also works with Copic together, I was like, oh cool, I've already got those. These were on special when I got them. They were on sale. Let me show you what I got though. Holy mackerel, I got a big old. Let me show you. Let me open them up for you. Look here. And I paid something like 30, this is a while back now, y'all. I don't know what they'd be now, but 30 some for them. Because I remember thinking, dang, how good can they be? But they're good. I like them. But I wish they had that brush tip, but they don't. I'll show you what they have in case y'all are interested. And with the holidays coming up, you might say, put that on your list, you know. So they do have what they call the fine tip, which is this one. Okay, and then your other tip is the broad. This is great if you're going to go around something that's just straight. It's perfect, but this one won't get into those teeny tiny little, it looks like it would, but the sides bump up against it. So I'm like, eh. And then I'm using this one, which is, what's this one? This is number 15. See, for that. So, I've also got another red one here, but I don't know where I put it. So I've pulled two of the red ones for here, because as you see, the reds are so interesting, all different shades. But you can tell, here's your paper bag. I'll just do the little one. How about this? Because I haven't done, as you see, I haven't finished this one. I'm not going to do a big one because y'all know my craft room is very limited when it comes to space. But this is going to get a wallet as well. So let's just, and I'm sure y'all have probably already seen this because Firefly Studio came out with this some time ago. I mean, it wasn't brand new. But I just fell in love. Now, I will tell y'all this. I cut this little piece off because I figure, hey, it's got so much here in order for it to stand up. I'm just going to cut it off because I don't need any more. Now, one person on there cut this off entirely. She's like, no, it's too bulky. I personally like the bulk because it gives it more stability. You know what I mean? Your top. This is, to me, nice and stable here. I'd love to tell you where I got each of, this is from Scrap Pack, but everything else, usually I would get paper from Joann Fabrics when they give you that, what was it, 10 for $1? Oh, not $1. 10 for $2 or something like that. That's when I would get paper. And can you see with that collage medium? Oh, it feels so good, y'all. It really does. It feels wonderful. And can you see, it still has, you can tell it has a coating because when it comes to this brush, you can tell that it's soft, but it's not super soft. So with brushes like this, you will be able to see the brush marks. If that bothers you, I would definitely go to a smoother brush. But I really like that brush because everything goes on and stays on right where I want it. But yeah, So it's coated inside and out. And then I will tell you this, a lot of people, or I just want to knock everything over, a lot of people sew around here. And then they sew up the sides. And I understand that. And I have a sewing machine, but all my life I've always been told you put paper on a sewing machine and you're going to mess with your machine and mess with your needles and blah, 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 blah. So I still haven't gotten up the nerve to sew. But I think it would be darn, especially this one, it would be darn to sew it with a zigzag. Wouldn't that be fun? But anyway, let me show you on this, and then I'll show you a few things I'm thinking of with this. I haven't gotten all my decorations together yet. And one piece that I pulled, which is perfect for this darling crafter, I can't find it in this mess I've got on my desk, so I would show you that, but don't know where it is. So, you know, we're not going to do like children and make a puppet out of it. But we're going to come to you see the fold that's here? You're going to come out here and do the same with this one that you would do with the large lunch bag. And you're going to try to make that seam go the other way. Okay? And sometimes it goes beautifully, and sometimes it'll fight you. It just it just depends. So what you want it to do, though, see, like especially at these little spots here, what you're wanting it to do, and sometimes you can go ahead and bring in your bone folder and make it behave itself, or your hand. I've seen people bring their hand in, and like I said, you're making those creases go the other way. And it takes more than sweet talking now. All right, let's see what's happening here. Okay, well, I just defeated my purpose, y'all. I just went the other way again. All right. And I would start over, but I'm gonna. All right. Then, because we all make mistakes, don't we? All right. Then, like I said, you want it to come like so. And then get it going in the right direction. And like I said, sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes it doesn't take any time whatsoever. It's just boom, boom, and it's done. But this one, I don't want that many wrinkles, you know? Because this one wants to lay flat. See how nice? And this one says, no, you can't make me. Okay, yes I can. Somehow I'm going to make you. Okay, well, that's going to be that. I'll get it to lay flat. Okay, so I go ahead and make sure they're going all in the right direction. Take my bone folder and say, here, stay that way. And then with this one, I do go ahead and cut this off, but for the sake of time, then you're going to fold this back up. And you can see it already, can't you? There it is. But what I do is, this happens with all of them. I haven't seen one that folded up perfectly. You're going to have one, and it's not going to be straight, that folds up a little bit short. So that's the one I put here. And you can either glue it here or take your sewing machine and just sew it there. You know, as you know, like I just said, I'm gluing everything. So, and as you see, this has a natural fold here already. And then you'll just bring this up. With the wallets, it just depends, but I've cut these off in my paper trimmer. And some people go all the way up. I don't do that. In fact, I like to see, because see, this comes down quite a bit. So I want at least a little bit of, and that natural fold, you know, but you can mess with it. You can, in fact, one thing I've done is go ahead and I score here, and then I score the next line and the next line to try and give it, you know, a little more bendable, feel, you know, easier bending there. So, and some people do that down here too. I tried it at the bottom, but the way I'm gluing mine and then putting the lace over it, it's yeah. I do the lace to make sure it stays properly. Like I said, if I was started sewing, I would do that. So there you go. There's your little wallet, and you do the same thing to make your clutch purse. So that's what I've been doing. And I forgot to tell you, and not only do I glue here, but I personally glue here. But some people do not. Some people measure in here and they put a piece of cardstock or a nice piece of paper here and here so that they can have a pocket in the front. That's also done by some. And I personally really like them myself. Like I said, I will make myself one, and I will put it in the glove compartment. I have one I want to do for a little one, which is going to be fun. And I want to do a larger one for her mom, and then one like this for her. And so just doing, like I said, just piecing it together. Like I said, I like to see the craft paper through it. And if I do get the white ones, which aren't made as nice, I might not. If I do get those, I would like to see the white between there too. I just think since these are going to be handled a lot, not everybody covers them with them. Some cover them in Mod Podge. And I like this though. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks, and I love the way these sound. You know, like listen to this. Doesn't that sound fun, y'all? You know. See, I went ahead and cut this one, and then I just put my pieces together. It feels kind of like I'm making a quilt, kind of. But yeah, this one I pulled, and then I'll scoot off of here. But this one, I don't have tons of red, but I went looking for red. I thought she uses her scissors all the time. I thought that might be cute. I might do a teeny tiny bit of kind of cross stitch, which is like this is. And, you know, just pulling lots of, like, some red flowers, maybe for the little one, for the cover. And then I've got this red ribbon rose, deep red. And then for this one, I think this large rickrack is some of the vintage rickrack that Trina gifted me. And I thought, how darling would that be there? And either Trina gifted the smaller one to me too, or I've had this, because whenever I'm used to be in a thrift store, I would go hunting for trim. And how cute will that be on this? You know, the little tiny one. So when I do the wallets, I want them to match, but not 100%. You know what I mean? Color-wise, and some of the papers are the same, but I wanted them to have a little fun too, you know, a little more fun to it too. So that's what I've been working on. And real quick, before I leave, well, I can't do anything real quick, and y'all know that, but as quick as I can, I was at Diane, who is Crafting with Fury. I know sometimes when I mention Diane's channel, I leave out the with. She had a live on Monday night where she took us to her, to get her nails done. She had a darling guest named Jennifer with her who was adorable. She was shy, but sweet and shy, you know what I mean? And she also had her nail technician and also a friend of hers, Cherish, which, don't you love that name? Love that name. With her, and it was so much fun, and everybody at that live was so sweet and so polite and so kind. And normally I can only stay for a while, and I shouldn't have stayed as long as I did, but it was just so much fun. It really was. And I came upstairs and I walked into Handsome's office. He was studying, and he said, "What's wrong?" And because I guess I had a sad look on my face. Well, I did have a sad look on my face. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "It was such a lovely live." And he was like, "That's good." And I said, "I'm homesick." I was like, I had a good time, but I used to have those kind of good times before. You know, we've moved a lot. And I know what it's like to sit down with some lovely ladies and laugh and tease each other a little bit and joke and have fun and just good, clean fun. And it made me a little homesick, but in a good way. So that's why I wanted to let y'all know. I will put her link down below. Made a new friend, Ray. He's from the UK. I will list his channel down below. Also, he is hilarious. Has so much fun. And I went to his website this morning, and he took us on a walk through a park. And oh my God, it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful. And you know, we're all going through so much at this time, and there's a lot of us that don't leave the house. And, you know, you pray your way through it, just like Diane says, you know, with the power of prayer and in your beliefs, whatever they may be. You do get through it, but, you know, sometimes, woo-wee, it's just like, I've driven my car once since March. And I had to then. It was a business thing that I had to do. And I'll tell you something. I'll go out in the garage and look at my car like, baby, you and I got to go. We got to just go. And I am in an area where they don't believe in wearing masks. And so that, to me, puts me even in a higher risk, because even when if I got mine on, they're not going to have theirs on. They're not doing social distancing. They're not doing any of that. And so I'm staying here. But it gets to you after a while, doesn't it? It really does. It's like, whoa, I need to be ootin' a boot. But with people like Diane, you know, getting on there and showing us that even through all this stuff, you can still have such a good time. And I'd like to thank you, Diane, for that. And also, I'd like to thank you all, because you know me, I'll just go on and on. I'd like to thank you all for coming today. Oh, my mercy, it's almost 35 minutes. Well, this is me, right? This is who I am. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care now.